In an age obsessed with stealth tech and AI-driven warfare, one aircraft is turning heads. Not because it hides in the shadows, but because it dominates in broad daylight. The F-15EX Eagle II isn't just a fighter, it's a shocking revelation of what old-school power looks like when infused with bleeding-edge tech. While critics question why the US would invest in a design that traces back to the Cold War, supporters argue that this warbird might be the boldest statement yet in the modern arms race. It's not about staying hidden, it's about showing up and outgunning everyone in the sky. So what makes this beast not just relevant, but terrifyingly effective in 21st century combat? Back in the early 2000s, the US Air Force found itself staring down a logistical nightmare. The Cold War-era jets were aging fast, but the replacement program had hit a brutal roadblock. Plans to field 381 elite F-22 Raptors were slashed down to just 187 units. That decision wasn't just a budget cut, it sent shockwaves through the military community. And with the F-35 plagued by production delays and rising costs, the Air Force was stuck. The skies were becoming more dangerous, while America's fighter fleet was literally falling apart. Something had to be done. But restarting F-22 production wasn't realistic. It would have cost a fortune and taken years. So leadership had to make a choice that some called desperate, others called brilliant. Revive the proven F-15 and make it unstoppable. The result of that decision was the birth of a legend, the F-15EX Eagle II. But this wasn't just a warmed-over reboot. This fighter is a fusion of experience and evolution, shaped by lessons from decades of warfare and polished with state-of-the-art upgrades. Its roots go back to international models like the F-15SA, built for Saudi Arabia, and the F-15QA for Qatar. Those variants tested new systems and configurations that would later feed into the EX. Boeing didn't just improve an old jet, they weaponized history. With a digital backbone, open architecture for constant upgrades, and redesigned airframe. Components built to last over 20,000 hours of flight time, this jet isn't just a patch, it's a declaration. And it's built not just to fly today, but to dominate the skies for decades to come. Inside the cockpit, the F-15EX is nothing short of jaw-dropping. The pilot and weapons officer are surrounded by massive digital displays, two giant screens that deliver real-time battle data with shocking clarity. Imagine flying a fighter jet with the interface of a futuristic command center. At its heart lies the AN/APG-82 radar, capable of tracking multiple targets in all weather conditions while jamming enemy systems mid-flight. That's like locking onto a threat while scrambling their signal at the same time. Then there's EPOS, the Eagle Passive-Active Warning Survivability System, a defense suite so advanced it's like giving the jet a sixth sense. It watches, listens and reacts to threats instantly, throwing off enemy missiles before pilots even know they're under attack. This is more than defense. It's digital intuition and it changes everything. But where this jet really shakes the battlefield is in its firepower. Most fighters carry a limited number of weapons, an acceptable trade-off for speed or stealth. Not the Eagle II. This machine was engineered to haul a shocking 22 air-to-air missiles if needed, more than double what most fighters can handle. It can also be loaded with long-range strike weapons, including the deadly AGM-158 JASSM. In a world where precision matters more than brute force, this fighter dares to do both. Think of it like sending a tank into a boxing ring. It doesn't just win, it overwhelms. And because it can support a mix of bombs, cruise missiles, and electronic warfare pods all at once, commanders can tailor the loadout for any mission, any time. That kind of flexibility is priceless in modern warfare, and it's not just the US that's taking notice. Countries like Israel and Indonesia are already making moves to bring this fighter into their fleets. The Israeli variant, dubbed the F-15IA, is rumored to include secret modifications tailored to high-risk regional threats. Reports suggest it might be optimized for rapid strike missions, possibly involving deeply buried or hardened targets. Of course, official details are scarce, but what's been revealed is enough to stir speculation. Meanwhile, Indonesia is eyeing the F-15IDN, a custom export version that could shift the balance of air power in Southeast Asia. These moves highlight one thing clearly. The F-15EX isn't just an American solution, it's becoming a global phenomenon. Behind all this hype is a chilling question. Are we witnessing the start of a new arms race? With Russia and China advancing their own fighter programs and developing next-gen stealth technology, the West needed a warplane that could close the gap fast, without waiting a decade for something new. The F-15EX fits that need perfectly. It's fast, it's lethal, and most importantly, it's available now. And with the ability to be upgraded mid-service, it's not just built for today's battlefield, it's prepped for tomorrow's wars. Combine that with its low operating costs and ability to share parts and maintenance protocols with older F-15s, and you get a platform that's ready to scale up instantly, should the global situation take a turn. Some skeptics argue that a non-stealthy jet can't survive in a modern battlefield dominated by radar-evading tech. But that's missing the point. The F-15EX isn't meant to sneak into enemy territory. It's meant to dominate it. And when paired with stealth fighters like the F-22 or F-35, it becomes a force multiplier. These newer stealth jets can guide the fight, while the Eagle II delivers the knockout blow with heavy weapons too big to fit in stealth bays. It's a tag-team strategy that's changing the way air wars are fought. In many ways, the F-15EX is the hammer to stealth scalpel, and together they're rewriting the rules of air combat. There's also something shocking about how quietly this jet has been integrated into the US military's future strategy. While headlines often fixate on stealth programs and drones, the F-15EX has been steadily entering service, racking up flight hours and pushing through testing phases with stunning speed. In May and August of 2023, the jet was pushed to its limits. In real-world combat simulations during Northern Edge and Combat Hammer, two of the Air Force's most demanding exercises, this wasn't just a routine checkup. These drills were the equivalent of throwing a rookie into a championship fight, and the Eagle II came out swinging. It handled weapon loads, executed high-G maneuvers, and held its own against simulated threats, proving not only that it's combat-ready, but that it's built for dominance. So what does all this mean for the future? Simply put, the F-15EX Eagle II is more than just another jet. It's a message, a reminder that sometimes overwhelming power delivered with surgical precision is the best form of deterrence. It tells America's adversaries, we may not always fight quietly, but when we do fight, we bring everything. This warbird is fast, smart, and brutally efficient. And as the skies grow more contested and the battles more complex, one thing is clear: this fighter isn't going anywhere. It was built to rise above.